Guys, I'm here to do a swatch and review video on Urban Decay's Moondust palette. Now this is not a brand new product at all. In fact, it's been out for a year now. But the reason I want to talk about this product and do a proper review on this palette is because shimmery and glittery eyeshadows are becoming so trendy right now, and there are so many companies coming out with liquid eyeshadows with a lot of chunky glitters in them, and each of them are, and those eyeshadows are pretty expensive. Each of them retail for $25. The most popular one right now is the Stila Glitter and Glow Magnificent Metals. Yeah, that's what they are called, Magnificent Metals. They retail for $25 a piece. Now if you are someone who loves glitter eyeshadows and ones that are so multidimensional and so glittery and beautiful, you will definitely end up buying more than one. And if you buy more than one, you are going to spend at least more than $50, because the Stila ones are $25 a piece. So I think this is an amazing way and a good value for money if you are someone who loves glittery eyeshadows, because all of the shadows here are glittery eyeshadows with a lot of multi-dimensional chunky glitters in them. So if you didn't know what Moondust eyeshadows is, now Urban Decay has like a separate line called Moondust eyeshadows, where each, I think they retail for all of them are singles, and they retail for $20 each. And they came up last year with a palette with all of the Moondust eyeshadows, and they have 8 eyeshadows here, and this palette retails for $49. Yes, if you consider this as a palette as such, 8 eyeshadows for $49 is a damn expensive palette if you ask me. But if you are a person who loves chunky glittery eyeshadows and you want to get on board with the glittery eyeshadow trend, I think this is a very cost-effective way to try glittery eyeshadows, because if you buy them in singles, they are going to be very expensive. You will definitely break the bank. So this is a great way to try it. And yeah, now being Urban Decay, this palette is pretty much available in a lot of places. I think in Nordstrom, Macy's, on Urban Decay's website. Then it's available at Ulta and at also Sephora. Now Sephora is doing their spring sale where you get 15% off. So it's a good way to try this product there at Sephora. And if you are a platinum member at Ulta is doing a 20% off actually, just for platinum members. So if you are a platinum member at Ulta, I am not, but if you are, you can go ahead and if you want to try this palette, you will get 20% off of it. And besides that, I think it's available at Macy's, Nordstrom, and I think pretty much everywhere Urban Decay is sold. And yeah, the amount of product that you get here is 0.02 ounce per pan. Now the Moondust full size shadows are 0.05 ounces, and this is 0.02 ounces, so less than half is what you get. And yeah, and you get 8 eyeshadows. Now I must say, yeah, the packaging is just you know, like glittery, just like how a glittery eyeshadow would look. And it is pretty small and compact, and this is like a plastic packaging, and it is pretty sturdy. And it does come with a mirror. I don't want to show and blind you guys, but it does come with a mirror, and you know, you can like move the mirror back and forth to the angle you want if you were to use this mirror to do your makeup. Now let's talk about the product. Now you have a beautiful color variety here, you guys. You have a lot of jewel toned here. I mean not all of them. This and this are very jewel toned shades, and then you also have like very grungy gunmetal shade, and then you have like a cool toned bronze, in fact, and then you have a beautiful midnight blue kind of a shade. Then you have like a fiery orangey red, coppery red, and then you have like a duochrome. This is a duochrome with a pink and a coppery shift to it. It's very pretty. And then you have like you know, Urban Decay standard purple. So I do have swatches on. I have the first 4 here, and then the next 4 here. Do you see the dimension? Do you see how multi-dimensional these are, and how they do have chunky glitters to them. They are very, very pretty. I would say they give a very, I mean, they are very, very comparable to the Stila Magnificent Metals and all the, I think that is the most popular right now. So they are very, very comparable to the Stila Magnificent Metals. Now, I have to say these eyeshadows are not opaque. They are pretty sheer. Now, I did, these swatches right here are all brush swatches, wet brush swatches. I wet my brush and then I did 2 to 3 layers. Now, these 3 I had to do like 3 layers of the eyeshadow, but the rest, these 4 and this particular green, I just had to do 2 layers. Now, that to me personally is not the biggest con for these eyeshadows, because if you think about it, these are kind of a fuss-free kind of an eyeshadow, because they you know, they are pressed, right? So that itself is like a little bit of a fuss-free formulation, if you ask me, not when you compare it with liquid. So since these are pressed, and also they do not crease, they go on smoothly, and they layer up very well. They don't like, even after layering up, they don't look kind of uneven on the eyes. You know what I mean? When you like apply shadows and then you apply glitter on top, your eyeshadow can kind of look crusty and uneven and doesn't look like smooth. But even after you layer these eyeshadows, I hope you can see, they look very, very smooth. They don't look uneven or anything. But the only downside to these are sheer. So applying them dry, you will have to layer them a lot if you apply them dry. So I always suggest, if you want to try these shadows, always keep in mind that you have to use them wet. And also with certain shades, these 3 shades, you will have to layer them at least 3 times to get a beautiful color pigmentation. I want to show you the finger swatches as well. I'm not going to like do you see the finger swatch? If you can see, it's kind of sheer, but it is smooth, guys. I hope I'm making sense. It is sheer, but it's not like uneven. No, it goes on smoothly even after layering it up. The finished look is very, very perfect, if that's what I mean. Now this shade is called Spectre. The pink shade is called Spectre, and then this coppery red is called Element. This is the brush swatch with 2 to 3 layers, and this is the finger swatch. With finger, obviously the pigmentation increases even if you like apply it dry, as opposed to using a eyeshadow brush dry. When you have the magnetic, is the purple one. Do you see how multidimensional it is? I think the only the biggest advantage is you can layer these up as much as you want, and you will not have a problem with these. It will still look smooth. It will not look crusty, uneven. It will not you know, look very, you know, uneven. You know what I mean? Let's do this gunmetal kind of shade is Granite. This is the one. These are very, very pigmented, guys. Especially this bottom row is, do you see how multidimensional this is? This is my favorite shade, in fact. This guy, so pretty. Then this is Lithium. Lithium is a bronze shade. Do you see how glossy and multidimensional it is? It's literally like so pretty, guys. This is Vega. Vega is a blue shade. Just a blue shade with a little bit of a purple in it. Vega is beautiful. Then this last shade is Galaxy. It doesn't look very blue in the pan, but on the eyes they definitely look very, very blue. They look pretty blue to me on my eyes. So yeah, these are brush swatches, wet brush swatches with 2 layers, and these are just finger swatches. Finger swatches help these eyeshadows go onto your eyes, even dry very, very beautifully. And this side is the top row, and this side you have wet brush swatches with 2 to 3 layers. These three I had to do like 3 layers now, but this was pretty pigmented. And these and this side is my finger swatches with just 1 swatch. So these are the gorgeous Urban Decay's Moondust palette, guys. I highly recommend these if you are someone who loves glitter eyeshadows and who's considering to buy definitely more than 2 single eyeshadows with a lot of that are glittery. I think this will definitely save you a lot of money, and you get to try various different range of shades, because you have jewel tones and you have this grungy gunmetal, then you have like a bronze, you know, like a neutral shade as well, and then you have 2 different kinds of blues. You have a beautiful green, like a grass green, very, very pretty, and this coppery red is amazing, guys. So unique. And this is, in fact, for me, this purple is kind of like a neutral kind of a purple. Now the purple and the green is what I have on my eyes. I have the purple in the inner corner, and then I have the green in the rest of my eyelid. Do you see how glittery they are? Very pretty and very multi-dimensional. They give a beautiful look on the eyelids, guys. So I think these are really, really good. If you are someone who likes glittery eyeshadows, this is a definite, you have to try these out. The another downside is you will definitely have to pull out another palette if you are someone who wants to do crease work. If you are particular about doing some you know, applying a matte eyeshadow in your crease, and you have to pull in another like palette or a singles or whatever. But I'm not someone, but today I am using, like a Viseart dark matte palette. I use like a purple eyeshadow here, the crease, but I'm not someone who's particular about using a matte eyeshadow in my crease. I can just bring this eyeshadow up till here and then bring it here, and then just slightly buff out the edges so that it doesn't look very harsh, and that will look beautiful as well. So yeah, I love this eyeshadow palette. And what else? I think if you are someone who loves glitter eyeshadows and considering to buy those singles eyeshadow that are very popular right now, not just Stila, if you're considering to buy single eyeshadows in general are more expensive when you compare with a palette. So yeah, there's that. Hey guys, I think we've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. The price, $49. These are available at Nordstrom, Macy's, UrbanDecay.com, and Sephora and Ulta. And then yeah, I think we touched upon all the performance wise. And another thing, if you are planning to not just this particular eyeshadow, any glittery eyeshadow, always do the crease work first, and then finally this needs to be the final step, so that otherwise if you apply these eyeshadows first and then go into blend, like do a real blending work, you can do a very slight blending in order to take out the, if you have any harsh lines, that's fine. But if you go in to do like windshield wiper motion back and forth like 3 or 4 times, the chunky glitter will fall on your cheeks, and you will have to do a lot of cleaning up underneath your eye. So I always recommend finish all your crease work and all the blending, all your hardcore blending that you have to do, and the application of the eyeshadows on your eyelids needs to be the final step, so that the fallout is minimal. So yeah, I think that's the only thing I wanted to add to the review. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and please give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and please subscribe. Bye.